Newsom world and Harris world, they hate each other.
Really?
Absolutely.
And they're in the same area, though. So right now they're talking about...
That's the problem. Because now Harris is thinking about running for governor. And Harris... Oh, and did you see Newsom has a new podcast to rehabilitate his image because the California fires basically set his career on fire? He still very much wants to run for president.
I mean, it's very obvious that his ambitions are to be the president of the United States. There's no question about that.
If you were to open up a dictionary and look up used car salesman, you know whose picture would be there? Gavin Newsom.
Yo, this ex-DNC chair, Lindy Li, who used to be like a fundraiser, like donor for the Democratic Party, is just spilling all the tea. A few weeks ago, I was telling you guys about how she said Barack Obama was running the whole show. Then she said Joe Biden was running the whole show, and like how like just basically exposing a lot of like things that were happening behind the scenes in the Democratic Party. My gosh, she has more to tell. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RSTN News because it ensures YouTube that you're enjoying our videos. And in turn, they will continually show up in your feed and then they'll push it out to more people. She's on Patrick Bet-David's Valuetainment, and just you're about to enjoy this video. So let's get into it.
When that debate took place. Okay.
Oh my gosh, people were erupting with fury because Harris thought that Newsom was stealing her thunder. Behind the scenes, Harris world was pissed off. People were ripping their hair out. They were so mad at Newsom. Newsom world and Harris world, they hate each other.
Really?
Absolutely.
And they're in the same area, though. So right now they're talking about...
That's the problem. Because now Harris is thinking about running for governor. And Harris... Oh, and did you see Newsom has a new podcast to rehabilitate his image because the California fires basically set his career on fire? He still very much wants to run for president.
I mean, it's very obvious that his ambitions are to be the president of the United States. There's no question about that.
If you were to open up a dictionary and look up used car salesman, you know whose picture would be there? Gavin Newsom. Like literally. Wow. He's just like the embodiment of that.
There's a lot of big dealership in Sacramento.
He looks like one too.
Or they may be calling him.
Exactly. And his team reached out to me 3 years ago because they know I'm a fundraiser. These senators and congressmen, before I jumped ship, of course, they would hit me up on a daily basis, begging me for money or begging me to host them. I've hosted Senator Tammy Duckworth, Josh Shapiro, like so many members of Congress. Oh, and then Ted Lieu comes over a few days before Biden drops and tells me, oh, there's no way Biden is going to drop. And Biden's definitely going to win because of abortion. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like a Democratic leader with the poorest prognostic skills I've ever heard. But I love you, Ted, if you're listening.
But when this...
That's actually insane, though. Imagine voting for Biden solely because of abortion. Something that is literally, it's to the states now. The Supreme Court made sure of that. And you're going to vote for someone who's not going to do anything about it because they can't. That's your single issue voter over an issue that can't be changed by the president. That's stupid. And I know a lot of people voted for that reason for Kamala Harris, and that's insane.
What's happening with Newsom and DeSantis? Do you think both sides, because DeSantis' people don't like Trump. I mean, it's where it's at right now in the state of Florida.
The governor thinks
Byron Donalds, you know, Trump is endorsing him, but Ron wants his wife Casey to run, right? So there's also that, you know, where Ron thinks he's a better leader fit to be a president than President Trump was. The question is, do you think this was going on behind closed doors while you're doing fundraising pre-Kamala being in there because they were trying to find a way to get Biden out for Newsom to come in? Did those talks at all take place or no?
Newsom was always out there because in his mind, he always thought there was going to be a possibility that Biden wouldn't make it to the end.
He knew that.
He knew that.
And how do you know that he knew that?
Because as I mentioned, his team reached out to me 3 years ago preparing for it.
2022, 2021, they reached out.
2022. Yeah. I remember. They slipped into my DMs.
This is how you know it's all a game, man. This is all a game. Like, you knew Biden wasn't there, clearly, and you reach out to someone who is a donor, who gives money out to people that are to campaigns, and you knew Biden wasn't there, voted for him, advocated for him, fought for on his behalf to say that he's cognitively there and all these things, yada, 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 all these political ridiculous nonsense. So we all knew he wasn't. And then you're reaching out to somebody behind closed doors to try and get take your swing at the presidency because you don't think he's going to be able to make it to the end of the term and definitely not do another one. I hate that. I hate that so much. Asking
me to fundraise. Why would you? Bear in mind, I live in Pennsylvania, okay? So if you're reaching out to me, it's because you have national ambitions. I'm a national fundraiser.
And you're in a very important state.
Exactly.
Right. Wow. So they reached out in 2022, interest of you possibly fundraising for,
exactly.
Did they say for him or for somebody?
Oh, it was a member from Newsom's team, yes.
And they specifically said.
And I'll tell you who it is off air. I just want to protect people's privacy. But this is for they didn't say presidential campaign. But if you're going to elevate your finance operation, it's for the like, what is he going to run for? National dog catcher?
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. I mean, that's the part where, when it was happening, I mean, obviously, was there talks of Biden or others or, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer trying to get rid of Kamala in a way because they knew she didn't stand a chance to win, to have more like someone like this running?
Yes, that's why Pelosi wanted a lightning primary. Obama initially wanted somebody like Mark Kelly. He was vetting somebody like him, the astronaut dude that
of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Biden inadvertently did something brilliant. He fumbled his way into something smart. By picking Kamala, he insulated himself from getting booted out. If he had picked anyone who was even marginally better, they would have removed him months before. Because she was so weak, everyone was left in a catch-22. Do you understand what I'm saying? He picked the worst possible person. I don't know if it was like a Freudian move at that point, but by picking her, he ensured that he would not be removed because everyone knew how bad she was.
So embarrassing.
Wow. So picking a terrible number 2 that will never be able to outshine the boss, which is
and it
Joe
worked
Biden.
for a while. And what
she was horrible. I mean, the border. I mean, were there talks about how to would there be conversations behind closed doors of, okay, here's how they're going to attack us. This is what we're going to say. Here's how they're going to attack the top 3 issues. They're going to do border. They're going to attack this. They're going to attack that. We're going to say this. Were those types of anticipation of what could happen with Kamala?
Yeah. Well, she fucked up so badly that she stopped. Did you notice that she disappeared for like a year?
Mm-hmm.
So after she fucked up on the border and then she was given civil rights, those are her 2 agenda items. And then she did an interview, I think it was with Lester Holt, and she was laughing about it. And she's like, oh, I didn't go to Europe either. Like when they asked her, why didn't she go to the border? It was a very flippant and disrespectful answer.
That was the stupidest thing she could have ever done. You're literally the borders are. Your job is to make sure that our border is secure. You're getting asked questions by a reporter, and then you go, I've never been to Europe. Yeah. That was one of the many reasons we were just like, all right, Kamala. All right, Kamala, whatever you say her name. Absolutely, this is a disgrace, and you lost in the same manner. A disgrace.
After those forays into the media world, she took a step back because she was so afraid of saying the wrong thing. So for about a year, she only did the most friendliest interviews. She only went into friendly territory because it was just so bad. She wasn't ready for prime time. But I must say that she did get progressively better, but never to the level required of a president. And I'm just so sad because I fully believe that women are capable of being a president, but she set back our cause. Because the Democrats are certainly not going to nominate a woman again. It's more
because they're over 2.
Here's my prediction, Pat. It's more likely that there's going to be a Republican female president first than a Democratic one.
I don't know if I disagree. Because they're 0-2 now.
Exactly.
Right? They're 0-2. And I'm sure if there's one person that didn't want Kamala to win behind closed doors, it's Hillary Clinton. There's no way Hillary sees Kamala as being the first female president than her.
Also, there's somebody else.
Who else?
Gretchen Whitmer, who's pissed.
Why?
Oh my gosh. Random side note, shameless plug of my life. I just moved to Nashville. I lived in Michigan. Gretchen Whitmer was my governor. Thank God she's not anymore. Stretching Gretchen is no more for me as a governor. And so just want to point that out. But she's probably pissed and good. We don't need her. She ruined Michigan. We don't need her to ruin the country.
Because first of all, there's no way that she would have been VP because America wouldn't have accepted 2 women. So she was not on the short list. And she obviously wants to be the president.
Have you spent time with her?
She asked me to host her in Philadelphia in 2022. It didn't happen here's why it didn't happen. Because do you remember that Do you remember when something exploded? A pipeline exploded in Michigan. A water pipe exploded. What was that town in Michigan?
Oh, yes.
It happened on the same day she was supposed to come to Philadelphia. So the news reports like she canceled her East Coast trip. I don't remember what town it was, but that was the same day. I was supposed to help her do the rounds.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Was it the pipeline or was it a different event?
It wasn't a pipeline. I'm sorry. It was a water issue.
It was something. I remember something. I just don't think it was a.
Sorry, I misspoke. I'm not the best.
I'm trying to see what it was. Okay, well, you were saying, so because of that.
She was already planning ahead is what I mean.
And so she also can't stand Kamala.
Yeah, none of us can stand Kamala, but yeah. I wonder if it's talking about Flint, because I know there's been lead issues, but that's been since I was a kid. Flint has been having water issues. So anyways, but Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen. And I think this is politics in general. People probably on both sides. It's a bipartisan thing where they just try and do everything they can to get the leg up, and it doesn't really matter who they over. But specifically the Democrats in this video, she's someone who's very deeply connected with them, calling them out, exposing their lies, their manipulative tactics. And it's just so evil and wrong. And we need to call these people out, and we need to make sure, hold these people accountable. So let's do that. Well, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment down your thoughts below. Can't wait to hear what you guys are thinking or read what you guys are thinking, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.